Welcome to Talking PHAT. That's PHAT spelled P-H-A-T, which stands for purpose, hope, and truth. This is where solutions are discussed for today's problems in our country, in our communities, and in our lives.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Peace and blessings. Let me thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Talking PHAT. And that's PHAT, P-H-A-T, not F-A-T, which is an acronym for purpose, hope, and truth. This is where we bring public information that a lot of times is not public knowledge. So listen, I'm going to put you guys on notice today, right? We have Javon Watson, which is the founder and CEO of My Event Advisors, and Brian Wilson, who is the co-founder. Now, we're going to bring these gentlemen forward and let them explain to you what it is, but tune in. All right, we're back. All right, I want to introduce you to the team for My Event Advisors. How you guys doing today?
We're doing great. All for yourself?
Man, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. You know, Javon, we came together a few months ago, man, and we had a conversation. You know, your story was very inspiring to a lot of people, man. The feedback I got from it was excellent. You know, from your story, from incarceration to where you are today, where you were in a cell and you got a vision from God that told you about an app. You didn't even know what an app was, and you began to put it together with paper and gum and whatever you could find and put it on your wall. And today it is a app in the Google Play Store, as well as the Apple Play Store and Google, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great. So it's live and it's ready to be launched. So I want to go back, man. I want you guys to really tell the audience, what is this My Event Advisor? And I said it's going to revolutionize the industry. I need you guys to explain to the audience how.
Well, My Event Advisor is events made easy. It simplifies the event planning process to very short steps that anyone could do it. Find your DJ, your host, your caterer, your venue, everything you need to have a successful event on the My Event Advisor platform. Also, My Event Advisor is geared towards the vendor as well, with keeping vendors booked, turning vendors' vision or businesses into empires across the application as well. My Event Advisor is the only app that will provide what we will provide over the lifetime of service providers using it. That's ticket sales, that's free ticket posting, there's so many things that happen across the My Event Advisor platform.
I got it, man. So if I'm a vendor, am I able to actually market on the app itself as well? Is there a place where I could actually put some marketing dollars towards it? Is that an opportunity?
Well, we market the app to your clients. So you'll see an ad to say, hey, are you planning your next big event? How about download My Event Advisor? Find some of the greatest service providers in your area. Whether you're looking for a DJ, a host, a caterer, a venue, we have it all in one spot. So you'll see ads like that market the app, that get people to search for a service provider's particular skill in a certain city or area.
Gotcha. So if I had an event, I would go, instead of something like Eventbrite, which I think would be your competitor, you would be using the My Event Advisor. So if I'm having an event, I'm gonna say, hey, this is where you get your tickets and push the traffic towards you guys. Is that how it would work?
Okay. Yeah. Because Eventbrite offers tickets, and I've used it. It's a great platform. However, it's missing something. No one should have to go to 5 different locations to plan their event. When I'm on my desktop, I'm on my laptop, my phone, I want to get it all in one place. It's crazy because what comes in mind is that commercial, that Safe Flight Replays commercial, when the mother was sitting at the baseball game and the guy came and fixed her window in the parking lot. Okay, My Event Advisor works the same way. You can be at your kid's baseball game and say, listen, Johnny got a birthday, or Gerald has a birthday coming up. Find everything you need from supplies, equipment, caterer, everything, hit it, go, it's done, and be informed the entire time, the entire process about what's happening with the event vision that you have for your child.
I got it. So it's nothing else like that in the marketplace, man. From my understanding. Yeah, this is very revolutionary. So, hey, Brian, let me ask you a question, man. As far as what's going on now, right? The launch and all that's coming about. Can you talk to the impact that the My Event Advisor app could actually have on the community. So look, man, and all that's going on with this My Event Advisor, Brian, can you speak to the social impact of it though that you're looking for it to have on the community?
Yes, sir. My Event Advisor, one of its first major events is going to be an event called Stop the Madness. And that's geared toward ending all of the madnesses that's plaguing our communities, whether that be teen pregnancy, early childhood development and education, homelessness, hunger, individuals lacking places to stay, all because we've seen these problems in existence for a long time. And we want to just not be part of the problem and want to be a part of the solution and put our dollars behind the impact that we want to see in the world.
Man, that's wonderful, man. I would venture to say I'm sure there's going to be some jobs created behind this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, within the first 24 months, we look to bring 200 jobs to the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia by way of software development, by way of service providers, not service providers that provide service, but we're going to provide services for individuals having events. Whether you need any type of equipment, we're going to have a team that's readily available to go and get those things for you. So whether you be on an entry level or either you got the technical skills, you'll be able to get a job with My Event Advisor.
Man, that's great. That's great. That's definitely something we need in the community, man. You know, we speak a lot about, you know, financial literacy and economics. So, I mean, this is definitely something that we want to get behind and support on every opportunity we have as well. So you guys gonna launch this out in Atlanta here in a short period of time. Tell me what is that gonna look like? What do we expect when this launch happens?
Oh, wow. July 1st, this is what I expect. I expect thousands of service providers across social media platforms all over Georgia to download, set up their profile and see the benefit of being tracked by your clients, being able to converse with other service providers, message other service providers, build your event team, post your events, sell your tickets, and just be a part of a great movement that My Event Advisor is. Period. Then I also expect users to download, plan your kid's birthday party, plan your grandma's anniversary, plan the next graduation for high school, post all the events you can on this app. Eventbrite last year did 35,000 events to record that we can find just in Atlanta alone.
Oh, wow.
2.7 million attendees, which means events are here. Events is what's jumping. And everyone knows that there's nothing like a gathering to bring a smile or a great spirit about a community like events. Every day is an event with My Event Advisor. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make every day an event.
There goes your slogan right there, man. Every day is an event with My Event Advisor.
Sure.
There goes your slogan. So look, you did mention something. I want to go back and kind of unpack that. You said, well, you can track your vendor. What does that mean? What does that look like? Track your vendor.
So one of the reasons why I believe platforms find it difficult to add service providers to the event planning process and ticket purchasing process is whether or not they will show up. Well, we're going to take one out of Uber's book. We're going to take one out of DoorDash book, and we're going to show you the same way you track your food, how to track your provider to the actual event. Hey, your provider is on the way. Hey, John just arrived at the event, because what happens is this cut down on scams, this cut down on paying people deposits that's not going to show. But we also have a backup plan on My Event Advisor as well. Let's say John is not there at the arrival time of 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is one of the new features going to be rolling out like 2 to 3 weeks after the app launches. John is not there by 7 a.m. Another DJ who was interested in the same event is now notified, because we do not want to ruin your event. All right. My experience as 9.5 years of being in the event planning and promotional industry, there's nothing more stressful than the stress that comes the day of the event. So our job is to work for you, eliminate that, alleviate it, get rid of it. No more anxiety, no more stress, because we have the systems in place that will make your event smooth for you to do the next one on My Event Advisor.
Man, that's dynamic. So you telling me, okay, my event is about to start. I'm looking at my app. I guess the DJ or whoever it is, the vendor, they will have to sign in. That is the way I would track to the event, right?
Exactly.
I'm looking and they have a sign in time. It's past that time and they're not on their way. am I able to cancel that one and go to the standby? Is that how that will work? You know, like a Uber, how you can cancel a Uber. Is that how
Yes, sir.
it's going to work?
Yes, sir. And your funds will remain on the Mia app, in the Mia account. And if there's a difference in price for that DJ, that DJ will be paid once you hit complete. At the end of the event, that DJ would then be paid for their services. Now, someone asked me a question a while back. Now, what if somebody choose not to pay the person for their services? We say, well, you just can't do that on our platform, and here's why. My event advisor has a system that notifies us, the event company, the actual management team, that, hey, John hasn't been paid from the event yet, and it's 1 hour later. So what we would do is we can look at the map and see if John was at that event, actually in the inside, doing what needed to be done at that event. And then we'll release the funds to John ourselves. Now, if John was just standing outside the door and then DJ, we'll know that as well, because the service would have been canceled and another DJ would have been hired, or my event advisor would receive some form of notification that John wasn't at the event. So it keeps down the scam. It gets everybody paid. It keeps booking easy. But I believe the most important feature of my event advisor for the service provider or event provider or vendor would be controlling your schedule. You can X off whatever days you don't want to work. That way, when people are looking to book you, you no longer have to answer the message, hey, are you available? The calendar already shows the dates that you are available.
Man, I hope they're catching this out there, man. This is unheard of. You know, I know each of you out there have a story that you could tell about some type of event that didn't go right. This is going to eliminate all of this. Let me ask you this, man. With all that you got going on, right? And all that you've been through, because I know it has been some challenges and some hurdles, you know, and that's a story within itself, you know. And before we go, you're gonna have to give a word of inspiration on seeing your vision, right? But I want to deal with this real quick. With what I'm hearing, right, it sounds to me like this is like a Facebook launch, you know, something that's innovative, something that has never been before. Now, this is coming out into the Black and brown community. Is there an opportunity for individuals to invest in your business? Is that an opportunity that's available?
Yes, there's always an opportunity to invest in my event advisor, especially if you're about community people or just want to see any type of growth. We actually encourage event service providers to invest as well, because the number one thing you hear event service providers, or if you make it your side hustle, say is, I want another stream of income, another stream of income. Well, sometimes we need to use the industries we're already a part of and make another stream. So if you're on the app, using the app, and you invest in the app, now you make money off of other people who've working on the app, even when you're not on the app.
Okay.
You may not be booked for an event, but there's an event happening in Virginia right now that's still paying you. There's an event in Chicago that's happening right now that's still paying you. So that's the mentality we want people to have, but it's open for anyone.
Oh man, that's great. That's great. Opportunities, y'all. You know, we talk about opportunities and what they can mean to you for tomorrow. Now, I know I'm gonna be a part of this. Some way, shape, form, or fashion. Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry, you were about to say?
Because going back to, you know, that community development part, right? And you mentioned Facebook. A lot of times that it's a barrier entry for ownership for that Black and brown community, right? It's you don't have the opportunity to afford the investment, right? So we even took that down and allowed the investment to be affordable to everyone by having it at $1 a share. So it's window is just wide open for individuals who wanted to pour in, not just a company, but pouring themselves as well, to begin the process of creating generational wealth and legacy for their family.
Come on, y'all. Did y'all hear that? $1 a share. 100 pennies, 10 dimes, 20 nickels a share. Listen, I know some people out there that heard about Bitcoin when it was $1.
Yes, sir.
Just think back. I know I was one of them. Oh, it'll never catch on. No, Bitcoin, no, man. I'm gonna keep my dollars in my pocket. Listen, Here's the opportunity. And you know, again, we are always talking about economical growth. This is the opportunity to not only get involved with the company, but something that's so innovative that it has never been anything like this before my event advisor. So this is what we do. We bring in public information that a lot of times is not public knowledge. As you guys have gone through the challenges, man, how did you do it, man? You went from just seeing it in your mind, you know, because we talk about how things are created, right? Everything begins with the thought to that physical apparatus that you have now on the Google Play Store. You know, how did y'all do it, man, when it came to challenges, man? Because I hear a lot of people today that want to do, and you know, they want to do it, man. You know, it's a lot of goals and aspirations that they want in life, but because of self-doubt, you know, they never step out there, man. Or because of, you know, individuals with the why not, and that person that is in there renting that space in the individual's head with the why not, that becomes bigger than their why. And I'm quite sure you guys had those challenges. I'd like to hear about that.
My first day challenge on the when the guy came and said that God is going to bless you with the app and it's going to feed millions, the first thought that came to mind was get out of my face, as I've mentioned in the last interview. I'm not trying to hear nothing about that right now. And months and months passed, and then there was this overflow of creativity. And then I went back to that thought. See, there are times where we'll go back to a thought on when a person said why I couldn't do something. But I went back to the thought on a man saying what could be done. So I went back to that thought and I was like, is that what this is? So you're talking about why I was sitting creating this now in prison. I've heard everything you could possibly hear. I've heard it's a con, it's a lie, it's a scam. And this is what's supposed to be said for that you don't understand. So all I had to do was understand one thing. Okay, God, what is it that you want me to do with this? Because I want to go out and party and just enjoy myself. I don't want to be responsible for feeding millions of people. But then who else would take the chance and say, you know what? I want to step up and go and do that. Because I believe most entrepreneurs struggle with what we're walking towards and what we're leaving. And sometimes we think what we're leaving is more valuable than what we're walking towards, only because what we're walking towards isn't clear. It isn't as simple or comfortable or a roadmap like that which I'm familiar to. So all I had to do was give up what I was familiar with. And my brother will tell you, while I was sitting there, I'm at the table every day. Okay, I'm at the table sometimes 16 hours a day. Okay, I'm reading George Bukowski's book, How to Build a $1 Billion App. I'm reading books on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, this and that, how to put this thing together, reading a few books on code, listening to people, listening to direction, a table with 4 men who were really serious about, you know what, we got to change this generational curse. And not to kind of switch the subject, but my advisor taught me a long time ago. He says, the problem that you have when you're trying to change a generational curse is that you don't choose a generational industry. See, you choose generational behavior, but you don't choose a generational industry. Events not going nowhere. That's a generational industry. They will only get better. That's a generational industry. See, I chose a generational behavior. My mom had me at 15. My grandma had her at 15. I had my first kid at 50. See, it just keeps going. We choose these generational behaviors that set us back. So when I was sitting in prison, I said, I'm gonna take a chance on this. I don't care what nobody say. I done gambled on everything else. And my brother, when I met him, it was just like confirmation. He was the only guy in the entire pod that walked in confidence of not knowing where he was going. He knew what he wanted to do, but I have never met a person who was not influenced by the environment. And he'll tell you about his change. And that's how we became like, I'm talking about, man, I can't even explain the brothership, man.
It's
because
power.
to find somebody to get behind you, Mr. Keith, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I've never had nobody, even my own kids are not behind me. I never had nobody behind me. So I had to stay behind God in order for somebody to be behind me. I can't answer every question that people ask me. I'd be like, man, all right, God, that's it. I mean, I don't know technology. So what do I do? with this. And then people just start falling like this, dropping like this and coming. And I'm like, man, okay, so this will work. And we're supposed to have those challenges.
Yeah. Like I don't mean to cut you off, but sometimes you're not supposed to understand. You're not supposed to understand. You just walk in it, man. And overcoming challenges is like that, right? We have a tendency to go to the 80%. That 80% is what's comfortable. This is what I know. That 80%, that 20% is what scares me. And this is what separates the I'm not going to say losers from the winners, but I'm going to say this separates the normal person from that person that excels in life. That one that goes after the 20%. You sit there 16 hours a day doing the work. See, people want the result a lot of times, but they don't do the work. Now, Brian, let me ask you, man. Tell me your piece of this, man. What's your
man, it's so much that's running through my mind, but as I mentioned, like power, being in purpose. Vision, man. It says that for lack of knowledge, people perish. Lack of knowledge we suffer, but for lack of vision, people perish, right? And that's a big difference between suffering and dying based upon what you know and what you can see. You said it begins with the mind, and I'm not talking about sight. See, sight and vision is two different things, right? Absolutely. Sight can be equated to fear, which is false evidence appearing real. I can look at my current circumstances, and as you said, that can overwhelm me to the point where I'll be paralyzed. I won't even move. And that's why I believe a lot of us have our issues at is we allow fear to keep us paralyzed and we won't move forward because of what we don't know. That purpose became like a fire for me. It became passion for me, and it consumed and it drew me and pulled me in the direction of my purpose and where I was headed. And it's so much to it, but I cannot allow what I've been through or what I came from to look like where I'm headed, because where I came from isn't remotely close to where I'm headed. And I'm not going, I won't go back for nothing. No, so
come on, bro.
That's one of those things.
Man, I'm sorry, bro. Keep going. That's good. That's good.
Conditioning. It's like I said, this is something that's it's just become a part of me, because one of those things when I got understanding, and man, because y'all said a lot and I was just listening. But you said sometimes you want to understand, and I shouldn't lean on my understanding, right? We understand who we need to acknowledge in all our ways, and then the path will be laid out for us. And that's what happens. My brother mentioned the fact that walking and not knowing where you're headed. I didn't need to know or understand where I was headed. I knew I was going to get there. See, when a man says, I ain't even gonna say a man, we understand, but when something tells you, or that spirit tells you that you're going to get to the other side, you don't worry about the wind and the waves. And so I can walk on water because of faith. And that's that when things look a little bit rocky, right? And that boat get to shaking and it may seem like it's going to capsize, right? I'm confident of who I'm in the boat with, and that's what keeps me going forward.
Knowing. Man, that's good, bro. Wow. That was really good, man. I thank you for that. Hey, look, that spoke to something in my life. Sure. And I hope it spoke to someone out there. I know you going through something, but when you have vision, and like Brian said, it has nothing to do with sight. It has nothing to do with the brain. It has to do with the mind.
It's about conception. The process is conception and manifestation. Yeah. And that's what you can conceive it in your mind. If you can see it in your mind's eye, if you can create that vision. And we got to understand as well that vision isn't something that's intangible, right? Man, see, so you get me started.
That's right.
Understand that, right? Faith is substance. Faith is evidence, right? These are things that are as solid as this table that my camera is sitting on, as solid as the chair that you're sitting in, right? And so when you have that faith, that vision in your mind, that conception, what you've conceived, you know it's already there. So you walk in it as if you already accomplished, you already achieved it.
Man, that's powerful, bro.
The vision is so powerful, though. There were days Brian and I were like on an angle from cell to cell. I was at 105, he's at 113. Yes, and we would get up at 12 and 1 a.m. And let me tell you something about that 12 and 1 a.m. A lot of people don't know what happened at 12 or 1 a.m. every morning, right? One, that means it's a new day. So you shouldn't even bring in what happened yesterday into this day, right? That means it's a new thought, a new wave, a new chance to do something new. And the fact that we can wake up and be in two separate places, headed in the same direction, but I know that we're doing the same thing, because there were some men up in there that'd be like, well, I'm up at 1 o'clock too watching, but you watching TV though. I'm making the TV that you're gonna be watching. See, that's the difference. We'll be in the same place, in the same thought, in two different places, moving in the same direction. It is so powerful. Even when he left the compound, there was something he used to say when I got on the phone that kept me grounded. He'd say, man, I already know what you back there doing. He can't even see me, but he know I'm at that table. And the thing is, he witnessed it. Oh man, that's the key piece right there. He witnessed something. Not only did he witness me, I witnessed him. All right. Sure. So I witnessed his character in work. I witnessed his change in work. I witnessed his challenges every day. So there are days when we face stuff that I just back up. I don't even try to lead or guide him. I know the guidance is already inside of him, because I know that he's not going to react, he's going to respond. And even if he did react to a thing, he's going to step back after the reaction and then respond. Because I had a saying when I first met all these guys, I said, man, you got one time to mess up with me, but 2 times to make it right. And what that means is the first time you try to make it right, that's just your experiment right there. You don't even know what you're doing. I'm going to let you go on down that path. But the second time you try to make it right, you're going to understand exactly what happened in the process. See, app development, character development, people development, community development is all the same thing. But the thing is, no one takes the time to quiet themselves down, quiet their spirit, quiet their inner being, and say, okay, now look, I'm ready to be guided, because that's what I had to do. He'll tell you, I did not use the phone to my last year in prison. And then I ended up doing 2 extra years. Man, we're not even getting to this. Then I ended up doing 2 extra years, okay, when I signed a plea agreement to do anger management and get out in 2020, but I ended up coming home in 2022. And the only thing I could ask was, God, what is in this mess right here? I ain't do nothing that bad, at least in my eyes. But then it was time needed to quiet me down, because he had to prepare us to come out here. See, people, man, good God, people don't see us praying. People don't see us in church clapping our hands. People don't see us ripping and running up and down the street. But let me tell you something, man. There is a scripture that I really love, and I take this everywhere I go, and it's in Ephesians. It says, let him that stole steal no more, but let him use his hands for that which is good and give to people in need. And that's the only thing we focus on every day, is giving to people in need. Man, we cannot create an ecosystem without a product or a service. When you go into these communities that have great schools, great hospitals, they have that because they can fund it. See, instead of having fun, you need to get into a position where you can be a part of a fund, not fun, but fund. Okay? We got this thing all confused and messed up. My event advisor is a part of the entertainment industry, yes. It's a part of the event industry, yes. But don't miss its purpose. Its purpose is to take that food from the event that we normally throw away and give to the homeless. It's to put on events that kids never had, birthdays, or feed the children and stuff like that. I'm glad this video gonna be out. That way people can hold us accountable for what we said we was gonna do. Because in this process, man, they do not understand what they don't understand. We need instruments, businesses, entities, corporations to move people forward. Matter of fact, that's what it means. Corpse comes from it's a Latin word which means body. You need people to do this. You cannot do this without people. We can't sit there and have good thoughts and not good actions. And my event advisor is nothing but a good action. So I thank God for the turmoil. I thank him for the struggle, because it kept us leaping over some stuff and walking into some stuff too. See, people don't know me and this guy met in a prison. So listen, man, when you're in prison, there's only one thing you can do, that's look up. Some people choose to look out. That's looking out at what's going on, right? Forget that. You need to look within, okay, and look up. If you do that, I guarantee you your wealth gonna come before your wealth come. We were rich before we created this, because that's what it says. We just didn't know that. So now we out here building this app. This app is coming out, but let me tell you what this app taught me. It taught me the software of myself in the process. It taught me which function does what emotionally, feeling wise, mental, all that, spiritually. And when one of those malfunction, we got a problem. Somebody has to go in and debug it, fix it, and get it back operational again. So my event advisor did more for us than we can ever do for him.
Man, that's wonderful. And this is why I wanted you guys to speak to that, because this is what's going to really help some people out there. You know, as you have these ideas and these aspirations, do it. You know, don't believe you can do it. Know you can do it, just like Brian said. You know, the process. You know, I'm always talking about the process. And you guys, man, that was wonderful telling me about the process that you guys went through. But listen, guys, we don't want to make this too long. And so, a couple things. First of all, an individual that wants to invest or want to get in contact with you guys, how can that be done?
You can find us on Facebook. That's Javon Watson or Brian Wilson. Just Google Atlanta, Georgia. To make sure you have the right person. Or you can contact us at 404-716-4430 or Brian at 404-716-4431.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, gentlemen, this has been great, man. I really thank you for coming forward and sharing this information with the people out there. Now, it's up to you guys. My event advisor, July 1st. It's going live. Look it up, download it for yourself, and see what it can do for you in your business, in your life, because every day is an event with my event advisors. I love that, man. I love that. Anyway, hey, we're going to get out of here. We want to thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Talking PHAT. My name is Keith Robertson. I've been your host this evening. And remember, action of knowledge leads to power. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for taking time to tune in to Talking PHAT. As we know better, we must do better, because action of knowledge leads to power. If this content has been useful to you, please like and share. Tune in again. Peace and blessings.
Brian Wilson, co-founder and vice president of My Event Advisors.
I'm Jay Watson, co-founder and co-CEO of My Event Advisor, and we've just been talking PHAT with Keith Robertson.